You're listening to the Astromommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the Astromommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Decisions, endings, and an infusion of passionate desires. Venus opposes Saturn, Pluto stations direct, and Mars moves into Scorpio. Weekly forecast for Monday, October 9th through Friday, October 13th, 2023. Good afternoon, friends. Well, I hope you all enjoyed last weekend's tarot reading special, the Fun and For You personal readings that I did for those on the email list who submitted a question, and also the 3-card spread for the weekend. If you missed it, you can watch the video here. So in true Gemini fashion, you guys all know that I have a Gemini rising, right? I decided that this week I need to do something different with my posting schedule because I have family coming to visit tomorrow. I'm so excited and I cannot believe it is happening so soon. My dream was that I would get all of my posts written and scheduled before they arrive and stay for the week, but that did not happen, not even close. So what I have decided to do is post a weekly forecast today for the work week, and then I will post a weekend forecast and eclipse horoscopes on Friday. So there will be 2 posts this week, plus horoscopes for all 12 signs for the solar eclipse in Libra. That's the plan. Then we will return to the normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday posting schedule next week. A couple of things about the eclipse. The solar eclipse is happening on Saturday, and here are 2 links that may be useful. The first is a website where you can type in your city and state and see what the eclipse will look like in your area and the exact time that it will take place. The second is a link to purchase eclipse glasses. You can still get some before the eclipse if you order soon and choose express shipping. You cannot look directly at a solar eclipse, so please be safe and protect your eyes. Okay, let's get into the astrology. All times are in Eastern Time unless mentioned otherwise. This week we have really one main transit that is the winner as far as important transits go, and then there are 2 backup singers to that. The star transit that I'm talking about is Pluto stationing direct on Tuesday, which is always a big deal every year, and then Venus opposing Saturn and Mars ingressing into Scorpio are the runner-up transits. But first, as always, let's talk about the moon this week. The moon starts the week out in the cheerful, enthusiastic, young-at-heart sign of Leo, moves into the pragmatic, organized, and managerial sign of Virgo on Tuesday, and then ingresses into the relational, charming, and diplomatic sign of Libra on Thursday night. So the majority of our week is Virgo moon energy, which is great if you have a lot of cleaning, organizing, and things on your to-do list that need to get done. Now we'll go over each day of the week and touch on the most important transits for that day, and then we'll do a 3-card tarot spread for the week. On Monday, the moon will be in gregarious Leo all day. Mercury in Libra, however, starts us out with a sesquiquadrate to Uranus in Taurus retrograde at 12:38 a.m., symbolizing some sudden delays, setbacks, or deliberations that cause some friction in our ability to communicate with others or get our ideas and thoughts across in an easy-to-understand type of way. The moon in Leo perfects a sextile to the sun in Libra at 3:07 a.m., which is a nice harmonious energy for the day to have overall, especially since the moon is in the sun's home sign of Leo, which provides some good harmonious vibes for the day. By late morning at 11:08 a.m., the sun in Libra will form a sesquiquadrate to Saturn in Pisces, which may represent the need to buckle up our bootstraps and patiently tackle our to-do list with steady applied effort. This will be me all day, I can already tell. I have to clean my house and get ready for my family coming, but with the Leo moon energy, that is the last thing I want to do. I would rather go shopping or play dress up with my dancing clothes, so I will have to purposefully apply myself to get my tasks done. The sesquiquadrate represents friction along the path, but things are already in motion and taking form. So cleaning and getting stuff together will happen as long as we turn off our phones for a few hours and focus on one task at a time without distractions. This may be what you need to do too. Physically set those boundaries in order to accomplish your goals today. Saturn will help us to do this. Then at 4:35 p.m. in the late afternoon, the moon in Leo makes a square to Uranus in Taurus retrograde, symbolizing a swift change or disruption in our routine that may create some tension. We may need to take some deep breaths with this one and then roll with the punches. This reminds me of last night. Last night, the dog barfed on my son's bed, and I had to do just that. roll with the punches. I systematically cleaned it up because that's what adults do. They clean shit up that sucks and they don't complain about it. So whatever mishap, delay, or sudden surprise this transit represents in your life, find the adult inside of yourself to handle it. The Leo moon can be a bit dramatic and juvenile, so pretend the teenager in your head is playing a 40-year-old in their high school play instead of a toddler, and you'll be fine. Tuesday is arguably the most difficult day of the work week. The moon will start out in Leo, but then ingress into Virgo mid-morning. The opening bookend to Tuesday is Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces retrograde. Venus is the planet of love, affection, beauty, relationships, and what we value and hold dear, and Saturn is the planet of restrictions, limitations, time, seriousness, and boundaries. So Venus in her fall position opposite Saturn in Pisces may symbolize something coming to a head in your relationships or with a loved one that is like a harsh reality check or a rude awakening. This could be something that feels like a sacrifice in love, rejection, or some sort of emotional disappointment. Additionally, this could mean separation from a loved one, loss of something valuable, or afflictions between women and older male figures. On the other hand, this could represent getting really serious about a relationship, finances, or your career, and because of your hard work and steady effort, there is an improvement, reward, or commitment of some kind that is positive. Either way the cookie crumbles, the opposition represents something coming to a head and a decision needing to be made, and it will be a serious, dutiful, or responsible one. Then at 8:01 a.m., the moon ingresses into Virgo, and by 10:06 a.m., she too opposes Saturn and then conjoins Venus at 10:45 a.m. So now we are emotionally involved, and because this is Virgo, we are feeling duty-bound to get whatever serious stuff needs to get done. If these are chores, we'll do them. If this is paperwork, we'll fill it out and file it. If this represents errands, we'll go drive all over town and get them handled. If this means a commitment to someone or something we value and care about, we are all for it. We will soldier on and be productive, studious, and utilitarian in our approach on Tuesday. I suspect that I will be doing the mad dash last-minute cleaning on Tuesday morning before my family arrives in the afternoon. And thank goodness for the influence of the Virgo moon coming in and saving my ass. The pressure will be on with the opposition to Saturn, and some seriously effective tidying, organizing, scheduling, and managerial activities could consume most of your Tuesday. Then by 12:16 p.m., the moon enters the balsamic phase of her cycle, and there could be a sort of realization that things are about to go through a major shift. At 9:09 p.m., Pluto in Capricorn stations direct, and this may be felt like a deep rumble of power being turned on and connecting. You can hear the hum. You can feel the vibration in your bones. You may even be able to hear the high-pitched tone in your ears. Pluto stationing direct often has a very palpable, powerful, and explosive effect and can literally herald bombs, explosions, and eruptions taking place on the world stage. And with the newly announced war in Israel happening as I am typing this, it is very likely, unfortunately, for something like this to occur this week. Last weekend, the planet of war, Mars, perfected a square to Pluto, and what is really interesting is that Mars universally represents war, but in the birth chart for the nation of Israel, Mars also represents their open enemies. And he was squaring Pluto with the South Node applying to a conjunction to the ascendant of Israel, symbolizing war on their home soil. It can't get any simpler than that. Mars and Pluto will be within the 3-degree range of engagement to each other all week, and this won't be broken until Mars ingresses into Scorpio on Thursday, and even then they are still 3 degrees away, so really this energy won't begin to dissipate until Friday. But then there is the solar eclipse on Saturday, which will be taking place in Israel's first house, representing a major new beginning for the country. On Wednesday, the Sun in Libra perfects an opposition to Chiron in Aries retrograde at 2:20 a.m., indicating that not only are we feeling the shakiness of the world at large, but we are also feeling vulnerable and uncomfortable internally, and maybe struggling with some feelings of doubt, disharmony, and depression as we try to navigate the bigger picture in regard to our relationships and the beauty and harmony we are trying to create in our lives. We may feel a sort of wake-up call with this one, or have an aha moment that illuminates a new direction for our healing journeys on a spiritual level. By late morning on Wednesday at 11:05 a.m., the moon in Virgo forms a harmonious trine to Jupiter in Taurus retrograde, and this is a wonderful omen of something we feel we need to do or develop within ourselves, getting a nice green light. Jupiter is in the exaltation of the moon, and the moon is in the detriment of Jupiter, and what that means is that Jupiter is looking favorably at the moon right now, but the moon may be feeling very critical of Jupiter, like, you're going to help me? Really? I'll believe it when I see it kind of energy. But this is a trine, which is of the nature of Jupiter, and so that means harmony, and Jupiter brings abundance, good luck, and aid to a situation. This feels nice and supportive, especially since the moon is in her balsamic phase. The balsamic phase of the moon is the last 45 degrees leading up to the new moon, and it is a time of release, letting go, and being calm and quiet as you process these feelings. It often is a time of sadness, grief, and melancholy. It's not a time to manifest or try to create new projects, but rather a time to reminisce about the past, clear and purge out the corners of our houses or our hearts and minds, and let go of the items that no longer serve us anymore, literally and figuratively. With the new moon being a solar eclipse, it is wise to let the new beginning unfold on its own, rather than try to intentionally start something new. This is because solar eclipses are like new moons on steroids, and they need no help from us to initiate anything. They symbolize world events that act as the initial domino being pushed over in a domino design, toppling down domino after domino, and eventually sometime during the next 6 months following the eclipse season, the design is revealed in the world and in your personal life. So this balsamic phase is a good time to practice some self-care and sit back and let the emotions and events wash over you without feeling a need to control them. Do manage your emotions in a healthy way, but it's useless to try to control this energy. It's too powerful. Instead, just allow it to be itself. It's like standing in the ocean feeling the waves. You can't control the ocean or the tides. All you can do is observe its current. But a solar eclipse is a very strong wave, maybe even a tidal wave. And it would be wise to not be in the ocean, right? So do protect yourself and brace yourself for the impact, but it's not something we can control. At the end of the day on Wednesday, Venus in Virgo perfects a sesquiquadrate to Chiron in Aries. And this really emphasizes what I was just talking about. Venus in Virgo is great at managing things. She's like a backstage manager in a large theater production. She has everything in its place and everything is handled. But then Chiron in Aries comes in and he's got a very large ego and wants attention. And if he doesn't get attention, then he may lash out or worse, walk off set. So there's this feeling like we have to sacrifice some of our pride to stay steady and handle life right now. The show must go on, as they say. Thursday is another dynamic day. The opening act is Mars ingressing into what is traditionally his home sign of Scorpio. Pluto rules Scorpio in modern astrology because Scorpio has to do with death, decay, transcendence, and rebirth, all very Plutonian themes. So Mars in Scorpio is intense, brooding, and penetrative, often a bit more receptive, intuitive, and yin. Mars in Scorpio is like a very seductive and sexy man walking on the set of the play as the Mars in Libra lawyer leaves the stage. Mars in Scorpio is sultry, magnetic, and mysterious, whereas Mars in Aries, his other domicile, is pioneering, fiery, and boastful. Mars in Scorpio also has a bit of a more metaphysical side with an emphasis on intuition and the occult sciences. He is a warrior of the night, and he is very powerful and strong here. Mars represents our drives, efforts, passions, and what we are willing to fight for, and in Scorpio, this could highlight sexual energy, penetrative thoughts, and ideas, deep desires, and passions. At 5 a.m. on Thursday, the moon in Virgo makes a trine to Uranus in Taurus retrograde, so suddenly something very tangible and earthy pops up that is helpful, beneficial, and nurturing. Then at 11:42 a.m., the moon perfects an opposition to Neptune in Pisces retrograde, indicating feeling confused or lost about something. It's like waking up from a dream and feeling a bit out of sorts as the real world comes into focus. We may be faced with a decision on Thursday that we have to make between reality and fantasy. By the late afternoon at 4:10 p.m., the moon still in Virgo forms a trine to Pluto in Capricorn, who is now direct, remember? And this can indicate feelings coming up very quickly from the depths that we have to talk about, write about, or discuss. This could happen so fast that it could be very jarring, but ultimately healing, and represents a sort of quick release or purgation of emotions. Then at 8:22 p.m., the moon ingresses into Libra, and now she is only 1.5 days away from the solar eclipse. The moon in Libra is trying to balance things out, weigh out the pros and cons, and initiate conversations and partnerships that she thinks will bring harmony and peace into her life. Libra is an air sign, so we could feel more social and cooperative during this part of the cycle. Even though we are letting go of the last cycle and leading up to a superbly powered new moon with it being an eclipse, I feel that there will be some excitement after the moon ingresses into Libra. The dispositor of Libra is Venus, and Venus is in her fall right now in Virgo, but I think the moon being in a sign that she rules, along with Jupiter in Taurus, which Venus also rules, will provide a bit of a pick-me-up type of energy for Venus. On Friday, we open our day with Mars in Scorpio, perfecting a trine to Saturn in Pisces retrograde, which is actually a positive aspect that indicates the energies are working together at 8:28 a.m. We may feel more disciplined, successful, and like we have the power and endurance to see something through. It's a day of steady effort applied to some sort of idealized goal or duty, and it results in some good fortune in exchange for the effort exerted. By Friday night, Mercury in Libra forms a sesquiquadrate to Saturn in Pisces, indicating that we may not get everything we set out to do done, but we are okay with that and willing to leave it till the next work day. Charm, tact, and patience can take us far with this transit. The last transit of the work week is the moon in Libra, making a quincunx to Jupiter in Taurus retrograde, symbolizing feeling a little off in terms of the big picture, but because it's Jupiter and Jupiter is in the exaltation sign of the moon, there is so much willingness to work together, even though we have differences, that both parties are in a compromising mood. We could see this within our family units as a willingness to work towards a goal or a vision, even if there is nothing in it for us personally, but just because it makes someone else's life better. And I think this is a good omen to end the week with, since Saturday and Sunday are full of a lot of intense energy with the solar eclipse. We may all need to work together and stick with each other even amidst the turmoil and sudden new karmic beginnings that will take place. Let's move on to a 3-card spread for the week representing you, your relationship, and a partner. For this reading to be accurate for you, please pick a person before you read or listen to the reading, and then keep them in mind while we explore the cards together. This could be a person you are in a romantic relationship, a business partnership, or it could even be a family member or a friend. It doesn't matter, only that you decide who to focus on before reading or listening to the reading. Of course, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. The first card representing you is 10 of Pentacles. On this card, we see 10 pentacles with decorations surrounding each central pentagram. In the upright position, this card is all about getting everything you ever wanted, the relationship, the family, the house, the career, prestige, etc., carrying the torch from past generations and passing on your legacy to future generations. So you may feel very positive and optimistic about the idealistic future of this relationship and feel like you are set to gain a lot materialistically with this person. The second card representing the relationship is 9 of Swords. On this card, we see 9 swords, 5 pointing toward the left and 4 pointing up at the 5 above. In the upright position, the 9 of Swords represents worry, anxiety, negative thinking, and feeling depressed. You may be having fears and anxieties surrounding your relationship with this person, and these negative thoughts are weighing heavily on you. And the third card representing your partner is 6 of Wands reversed. On this card, we see 6 wands, 3 in a row on top and 3 in a row on the bottom. The 6 of Wands in the upright position indicates victory, success, and advancement. Wands can represent inspiration, enthusiasm, art, and festivities. In the reverse position, this could indicate not feeling successful or inspired in some way, or if they do feel these things, they are keeping it to themselves, having private victories. But what I'm getting from this card is that your partner is focusing on re-inspiring themselves to be better at whatever they are focusing on, with a goal of success and victory. So your partner is focused on bettering themselves right now. So to recap, you have the desire to have a happy partnership with a happy ending, almost like a fairy tale type of ending, and it is on the material level, so this could be money, a home, a family, or whatever ultimate success means to you with this person. The relationship itself has some fear, anxiety, and negativity surrounding it for some reason. Maybe this has to do with past traumas, but there is worry and concern for the relationship and pain, but it is pain that is caused by the worry and anxiety itself, so it has to do with negative thinking. Your partner is focusing on themselves right now, not the relationship per se, and this may be something that is fueling the negative thoughts and worry surrounding the relationship. I'm going to pick one more card. What is the tool to use to deal with the 9 of Swords energy? 20, Judgment, reversed. On this card, we see the Archangel Gabriel blowing his trumpet in the sky, and naked people are rising from their graves to acknowledge their calling. In the reverse position, this card means ignoring your calling, having self-doubt, and being critical of yourself and possibly others. So this is so clear. It's time to release these burdens of worry and self-doubt. It's time to stop talking negatively in your mind to yourself or about this other person, and stop judging them, yourself, or the relationship as a whole. It's time to rise up to your calling. That is what will bring you the ultimate happiness that you seek, as we see with the 10 of Pentacles. It's not the other person's job to make you happy. It's your job. It's your calling. Ultimately, we are the only people responsible for our own happiness, right? We can use the energy of the balsamic moon to release these negative thoughts, worries, and anxieties and literally give them up to God, the universe, or whatever you believe in. This is a Jesus take the wheel type of moment where we let go and believe in the divine plan. The Judgment card also has to do with the High Priestess card, which is about trusting your intuition and listening to your spirit guides. Yes, there are concerns that may not be able to be ignored in this relationship, but it is your job to stay positive, present, and poised, ready to give the gifts that come from being unapologetically your highest self. In conclusion, for the weekly forecast, I want to share one of my most loved songs right now by the Medicine Box called Tomorrow's Ancestors. And I'm actually going to attempt to sing my favorite verse to you now. I recorded this in my bathroom for a little reverb, but do listen to this song afterward, as it is a great song. Now I can feel all of my ancestors behind me, sometimes quietly, sometimes shouting. And they remind me to be still, watch and listen, think and feel. You are the result of the love of thousands, yeah. Whoa, 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 hi, whoa, whoa. I absolutely love that verse. Remember, you are here because thousands of people made love to bring you through, and this is the type of energy to connect with this week as Pluto stations direct and we approach the solar eclipse in Libra, a sign of love, connection, and relationships. We are all meant to be here right now, embracing our callings, providing space for our partners as they embrace theirs, and filling the space between us, not with negative thoughts and worries, but with love and gratitude. And excuse me while I get a little woo here, but we are all made of starlight, so let's shine with each other and illuminate this world from the inside out. As above, so below, as within, so without. I wish you all a wonderful week full of transformations that set you free like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Please let me know what you think about the weekly horoscope and tarot reading in the comments. I truly appreciate your feedback. I hope this is helpful. Until Friday, Astro Mommy. Thank you for reading or listening to the weekly forecast. I Can't Even This Eclipse mug is available in the family Etsy shop Metaphysical Flamingo. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's cards were pulled from the Rolla Nordic Tarot deck available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the Astro Mommy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the Astro Mommy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.